Hi, good morning. Welcome to the sports review segment of Breakfast Daily. Good morning, Kweku. Good morning, Frema. You guys are looking nice.
Hi, Nathan. You're looking good too. Yeah.
We'll get to the inexplicables later. But I'm interested in Don Little's. What is Don Little saying?
Don Little.
Hey.
So Don Little, he's in a vehicle, and someone said something and said, leave us alone. Ni patita for ya hair. Yeah, buying the also. No, that sentence, no.
What does it mean?
If I was a blogger, I'm sure all the bloggers, I'm sure their interest is in Jaini Patetia for ya buying the also. That's the headline. What he meant today, I don't know.
We can only speculate.
Even that
we are being very cautious.
Let's move on. I will not say anything.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the Black Stars. At least that one we can talk about that and talk about it freely. Now, the current, let's say Otto Addo. Some people call him the interim manager. Some say the out of job interim, whatever it is. Now, Otto Addo handled the national team together with his very good friends Didi Dramani, George Boateng, and Chris Hughton. Together, the four of them combined to send Ghana to the World Cup after going past Nigeria in the playoff. Now, we don't know whether or not he will stay, but yesterday he did announce via a German football podcast that he and his club, Borussia Dortmund, had come to an agreement and that when it was time for the qualifiers and the World Cup, he would be allowed to come down and handle the national team. So from Otto Addo's end, he's very clear in his mind that he will be handling the national team when the qualifiers for the AFCON 2023 tournament begins in June. And then when the World Cup starts in November. Now, if you remember, the president of the land asked the GFA to keep this technical team together, the team that took Ghana to the World Cup. The GFA is yet to give an official response to what Otto Addo has said, but it looks like it's made the GFA's work easy if they want to keep him and the others, at least from Otto Addo's end. He and Dortmund are fine. They have an agreement. So when it is time for the national team games, he'll come down and handle the team and then go back and keep his job at Dortmund. Now, if you go back a few months to when the GFA was trying to court Otto Addo, he was very strict on that point. He wanted to keep his job at Dortmund and do this national team bit in addition. It looks like that bit has been clear and it is fine. So he'll keep his job at Dortmund and then be handling the national team. That is if, and there's a big if there, the GFA wants to keep this team. Remember, the president has, quote unquote, begged them to keep the team.
But would they turn down the president's request?
I don't think so, because it makes sense to keep these guys who have guided the team to a World Cup. The players like the team. Why change a winning team?
Exactly.
They have no reason to do so. And moreover, when Otto Addo and Dortmund have figured out this arrangement, it works. It's very easy for the GFA to go on and say, you just handle the team for the AFCON qualifiers, the World Cup, and potentially the AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire should Ghana qualify. I think that it makes a lot of sense to give them that kind of contract. And then after the AFCON in June next year, you decide on what the future is in terms of the national team. So I think it's very easy for the FA there. Very easy stuff there. Very easy stuff.
I just a comment on this. I just think that the chemistry between the backroom staff and the players is absolutely critical for a winning team.
Yes,
because you can have star players if there's backroom shenanigans that's not working. It just troubles.
And if you speak to the players on record and off record, they seem to have a lot of respect for the four coaches, because you see, these four coaches represent values and methods these players are used to. These players play in Europe, and these coaches are implementing things they know and understand. So the chemistry, at least on that knowledge level, is there. Okay. And then there's Otto Addo, who a lot of people don't know about, is very, very strict.
Really?
Extremely strict. I'll tell you a quick story. There was once when he just came. This is a very recent assignment. The team had to meet at a certain time. They had to join the bus at a certain time. A particular player was late. He asked the team to leave the player.
And who was that player?
I won't mention his name.
What is that?
But that player was left behind and he had to take a taxi to join training.
Fantastic.
And when he showed up at training, he wasn't allowed to join training.
Thank you.
He did laps the whole day.
He
ran around the pitch the whole day. And he didn't train.
No, that's what
it
we
inspires.
need,
It inspires.
Discipline and all
discipline
that.
in the team. It's brilliant. I think that's brilliant.
Of the start of the qualifiers. Let's move on to Europe, to Madrid. And last night was a very conflicting night. For Real Madrid fans, they were happy. For Man City fans, I don't think they were sad, but they are in shock, really. Yes, because Frema, don't give me that look. It's unfair. Real Madrid beat Man City 3-1 in the Champions League semi-final.
And the third goal was what didn't even make sense to me.
We'll get to that in a second. Let me give the details first. So Riyad Mahrez put Man City into the lead on 73 minutes. At that point, it was Real Madrid 3, Man City 5 on aggregate. And then in the 89th minute, Rodrigo scored to make it 5-4. Rodrigo scores again to send it to extra time. And Karim, the Dream, Benzema scored a penalty. In the end, it was Man City 6. Real Madrid 6, Man City 5. Man City,
I wish the mistake
was Man City missed out. Real Madrid make another Champions League final. It's a repeat of the final from 3 or so years ago when Real Madrid beat Liverpool. At this time, Liverpool are hoping for vengeance. Mo Salah is hoping for vengeance.
Hope is not their plan. We are going to deal with them.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, what Liverpool doesn't know that vengeance is the law. In fact, at this point, an enemy of an enemy is a friend. We are the Real Madrid. Although they have scored.
It's not vengeance.
But look,
we are going in fresh. We will deal with them.
It's a very, very strange. Now, post-game, Real Madrid manager Carlo Ancelotti was asked. He said, "Look, now he can't even explain what it is they did, but they've beaten PSG." Using the same formula, they don't play well. They score 2 goals in quick succession. They kicked out Chelsea after hanging on. Now they've kicked out Man City, and they're going to that final on the 28th of May against Liverpool in Paris.
The Ivan sitting behind you, what's his own that is so excited like that? What is that?
But he's been a Real Madrid supporter for as long as I've known him.
No, Memo's Day.
Now, threatenings are coming. People are threatening what I said.
We should be reminded that
we can still apply Memo's Day. If you laugh rough, I
don't know if
before you realize.
Somebody, did you see the game? Did you see it?
I caught the tail end of it, and that is why I was a bit upset, That
I watched more than half the game.
94th minute.
And you are conceding a goal. It's just the madness and the thrill of football. And some of these things you cannot explain why they happen, but they do happen.
I'm going to be watching NBA.
I'm tired. Okay. All right, let's move on to our final story. Now, guys, let me ask you, what's the highest amount you are ever willing to spend on, say, a football jersey?
200 cedis.
200 cedis.
250.
Freeman, how much will you spend on a football jersey?
I mean, if it's original.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe no more than 500.
No more than 500.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a mystery buyer in the United Kingdom yesterday spent £7.1 million on a football jersey worn by Diego Maradona from the 1986 World Cup. Now, Maradona, I mean, they wore 2 different types of kits, but why this one? This was the jersey Maradona wore the day he scored the now infamous hand of God goal against England. So Steve Hodge, who played against Maradona that day for England, he swapped jerseys with Maradona. He kept that jersey from 1986 and he decided to give it out to Sotheby's. Now, the auction was done at Sotheby's in London and it went for £7.1 million.
Who bought it?
A mystery buyer nobody knows.
Charlie, but people they get the millions.
£7?
Yes, £7 million.
People get money.
No dollar.
No, £7 million. Now, this upstages the jersey worn by New York Knicks baseball legend Babe Ruth. Now, it sold for $8 million. This sold for £7.1 million, and it was done yesterday at Sotheby's in London.
Now the point one.
The point one. So somebody had probably said 7 million, another one matched 7 million. He's like, okay, 7.1. Then you take it.
Nobody wanted to go.
Yeah, beyond
nobody
that.
could not go beyond that.
But do these people know of a country called Ghana?
They do. When you are self-actualized, if you are a country when you don't bother about light off, water, mosquitoes, those things. These are the things you spend your energy. Who buy Maradona's jersey, those type of things.
Maradona jersey says 7.1. I mean, how? Because what are you using this for?
He'll keep it. And when people come to his house, he'll point out that's the hand
one
of God.
he wore.
Then what?
Yeah, no.
Then
that's anyone one.
Maybe I'm coming from a poverty background, so all this is not making sense to me.
Yeah. So very, very. It was. Now Sotheby's say this is like the biggest thing they've ever sold in terms of sportswear. They've sold all kinds of things: baseball bats, football boots, those type of things. But this is very, very big. And they themselves are surprised that people actually wanted it. So this mystery person who remains a mystery, decided to spend 7.1 million pounds of his or her money, or their money if they are a group, on this one.
No, you know, this just should motivate
it's
and
nice
inspire us, you know, to do well.
Yeah.
So that maybe in the next 15 years, I probably might be selling my shoes by some 5 million.
For me, what I take away from this is that, for example, there are big things in Ghanaian sports, for example, that we haven't kept well.
Yeah.
And if we had a proper museum, for many years we could be showing our kids that this was a Samoa's jersey the day he scored Ghana's first goal at the World Cup. These were the boots he wore. Those type of things. And I'm quite surprised.
The boots he wore when he missed the penalty.
Nathan, nationally, we haven't done well in this area, you know, because
you know your stuff.
Kwame Nkrumah's car, his bulletproof car, was abandoned in the village somewhere. Somebody had to bring it, you know, and this Kwame Nkrumah we are talking about.
Exactly.
People would love to pay money to even come and see this, you know. What is the state of our National Museum today?
You know what I was suggesting the other time during Heritage Month? I was like thinking, why don't we have a tour in Ghana? When you arrive at the airport, you buy a tour called the Presidential Tour. It's about all the homes of the different presidents in Ghana, and they've been kept in pristine condition. All of that is such an easy sell, but nobody thinks about it as something that's of value.
Go to Kofu and see.
I know, right?
Anyway, Nathan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bearer of good news. God bless you. Yes.
Well,
have a good day.
You sit.
Yeah. All right. Well, Breakfast Daily is going to take a quick break. We have a lot of conversations coming up. Don't go anywhere.